Hello, welcome once again. This is Charles Msilanga. Today I want to speak about something that I think everyone needs to hear. We have ambitions, dreams, goals. And sometimes these ambitions, dreams, goals, and the direction that we feel our lives need to take are not achieved. Whereas I agree and understand and accept the fact that there are external factors that could limit one from not succeeding or achieving the things that he has dreamt of or desires to have. Some of these could be the system, some of these could be how a government operates, how someone comes or grows up as far as their background is concerned. To some extent, I can say that plays a significant role. But that's from a macro perspective. I want us to look at it from the micro perspective. And that is why today I want to title this particular message, Enemies of Personal Progress. The reality of the matter is that there is significant effort and action that needs to be taken from an individual perspective and an individual person so as they can be able to achieve their goals, dreams, and vision in life. Many times this doesn't happen, and we go out there blaming people, blaming circumstances, blaming this, blaming that. But the reality of the matter is, have you ever thought of your contribution to some of your failures in life? And the reality of the matter is that there is significant contribution that everyone needs to have or needs to take. And I come from a philosophy that if it is to be, it is up to me. And what that means is that anything that I do, its success and failure, I take 100% responsibility. It can be a business, it can be a friendship, it can be a relationship, it can be a project that I'm doing. The reality of the matter is, whether it succeeds or fails, you have significant contribution towards that outcome. And most of the times we human beings want to be acknowledged when something is working, but we tend to far ourselves away when something is not working, especially when something is failing very miserably. But the reality of the matter is many people in the world today are putting a lot of privilege and a lot of action into things and activities that do not involve or contribute into them becoming what God called them to become, or it's not contributing to their vision, purpose, and ambition in life. And they are doing it so well, whereby if it comes to their own things, many people fade away. Let me give you an example. I am not against employment, but if your boss calls you and tells you to report at work at 6 a.m., the reality of the matter is you will look for any means to be at work at 6 a.m. And worse off is that if you're going to report to a place of work that you don't love, you will still get there. And I know some people may be like, hey Charles, bills have to be paid. We have to pay bills, we have to do that. I agree, I understand. But the reality is, are you going to live miserably for the sake of paying bills? Or are you going to get out of the comfort zone and walk in the route of the unknown so that you can be able to live the life that you desire? Think about it. We want to perform, but the reality is we want to perform in a place where we are actually conforming. And that one example I've given you, probably you're in that situation, but the reality is it's okay that you're in that situation. You're listening to me right now. I want you to change that situation. How many times have you told yourself that I want to start this project, I want to start this thing, I intend to write this book, I intend to start the YouTube channel, I intend to start my business, I intend to start my side hustle. All the times you wish to do that, but the reality is the action is not there. Now I've given you, I want to give you 5 important things that you should eliminate if you want to ensure that you work on your purpose, because we are in this life for a reason and for a season, and most of the time we will leave this world a tragedy, or we will make it to be a tragic place, a place where it's worse than we found it if we don't operate on the path that we were created for it. And I want to give you 5 things that we should always eliminate so that we can put priority in our purpose, we can put priority in our calling, we can put priority in the things that we were called and to do in this life and in this day and age and in this season, so that we can be able to perform and live to influence and live to impact and live to ensure that we increase our income, so that we can become generous and we can become everything that God called us to become. Because the reality of the matter, you are not called for one thing, you are called for several things. And these 5 things I want to share with you, I pray that you abide by them, you absorb them, and you become intentional about eliminating them out of your way as far as your life is concerned. The first thing I want you to understand and realize is that you should work on eliminating something called self-depreciating. And what is self-depreciating? Self-depreciating is something is equivalent or almost equivalent to what we call imposter syndrome, where you look at yourself and you tell yourself that you can't do it. You look at yourself and you tell yourself that you're not worth it. You look at yourself and you tell yourself that you are not destined for it. But deep down inside of you, you know that you can do it. But you allow your feelings and what is ahead of you and what you see to make you avoid and eradicate what you believe. And most of the times when we are operating in self-depreciation, the reality of the matter is we are operating in negative projection as far as our life progress is concerned. I want to remind you that you have to ensure that you look at yourself as somebody who has the ability and capability and the potential to become the person that you believe and desire you have to become. Self-depreciation will kill your dreams. Self-depreciation is the fertilizer for doubt, fear, and inaction. Self-depreciation, ladies and gentlemen, is something that will hinder you, will block you, and will sustain you into stagnation. And it's high time you overcome that and walk out of self-depreciation and increase your attitude. Tell yourself that you can do, be, and become anything that you set yourself to become, because that is the initial step and the initial first significant decision that you have to make so that you can move from self-depreciation and move to self-appreciation. The second thing you want to understand and really audit as far as your life is concerned is what we call comfort zone. And I know Some of you will be like, Charles, I'm not in a comfort zone. I'm doing 1, 2, 3. Well, comfort zone does not mean a place where there is no challenge. Comfort zone means a place where your full capacity and your full capability is not challenged. You operate in a comfort zone in a place where your full potential is hindered, sunk, and murdered slowly by slowly. You operate in a comfort zone when you are at a place where you forget about your goals, dreams, and your personal ambition. You operate at your comfort zone when you are living a life not thinking about what can be done, and you're living a life concluding that your current reality equals to your significant potential. And if you are in that or one of those categories, the reality is you are not valuing yourself. You're doing yourself a significant disfavor for operating at a level of comfort zone. Comfort zone will put a black curtain from your eyes so that you will not be able to see what is ahead and how beautiful it is out of the place where you're in. Comfort zone, ladies and gentlemen, is the killer of dreams, and you need to understand and realize that you have to be bigger than the comfort zone that you are at right now. Comfort zone will make you not to see the dreams and ambition that can come out of you. And if you're operating at a comfort zone, I will really consider getting out of it, because that is an enemy of personal progress. The third thing I want to tell you that is the enemy of personal progress is called competition. Many human beings, many of us, we compete. And I'll tell you something, stop competing and start dominating. Competition means that you are gauging yourself based on the potential of someone else and not based on the potential of you. And most of the time, you forget that every human being has unique, outstanding, and different abilities and capabilities and potential. And you're doing yourself a disfavor if you put yourself based on somebody else's weighing scale as far as potential is concerned. If you are operating in this journey of life, one of the things that you need to guard and guide deeply is your personal journey. You are not competing with anyone, so stop living like you are. And the moment you do that, you will be able to see some of the abilities and potentials that are hidden within you that you never knew that are within you. The fourth thing is fear. Fear of the unknown. Let me tell you something. If you are living in fear, especially the fear of the unknown, and it's holding you back, I want you to consider that that is something that will continue to hold you back until you gain and get the courage to progress and move forward. Fear has stopped many businesses from being started. Fear has stopped many projects and many questions from being asked. Fear, ladies and gentlemen, has ensured that a lot of dreams and a lot of solutions that the world is needing right now have not been realized or been manifested because of fear. And if you're living a life of fear, fearing of the what ifs, I want to tell you this: you can never compare the pain of courage to that of regretting. And sometimes most of the things you fear don't exist. And it's rather you walk in fear and do the things that you believe are right and take the bold steps anyway, rather than operating at the comfort zone. And many years from now, looking back, you will regret wishing that you took the steps, even if you fear. But it might be too late. Work on your goals with courage and come out of fear. And finally, the last enemy number 5, as far as enemies of personal progress is concerned, is the environment. Let me tell you something. If you are living in an environment where you are not challenged, I'll humbly request you to look for a new one. The reality of the matter is the environment we are at, not always but oftentimes, affect how we dream, affect how we think, and affect our trajectory and destiny in life long term. So it's very wise that you consider being or putting yourself in an environment that edifies you, in an environment that transforms your mental state and your mindset, in an environment where people challenge you to grow and become more than where you are or more than who you are. It's very necessary and important that you put yourself in an environment that supports your vision and helps you achieve that. And if that doesn't happen, it will take much more hard work to recover and thrive in an environment that doesn't bring out the best in you. And with that said, I hope you gather and recall these 5 enemies of personal progress, and I believe they will impact you. Enemy number 1, self-depreciation. Enemy number 2, comfort zone. Enemy number 3, competition. Enemy number 4, fear. And finally, enemy number 5, a bad environment. Consider that, and I believe you will become everything that you are called to become, and you will start working on that vision, that purpose, and that calling that you believe deep within you that you are called to do that. And with that said, I hope I was a blessing to you, and I hope this message provided so much value to you. Please like, share, and subscribe for more